Imagine a tournament so big, so unrepeatable, so absolutely loaded with history, that the moment it ends, the world will never see anything like it again. That is the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And today, we are going to tell you exactly why. Let's start with the basics, because even the basics of this World Cup are extraordinary. For the first time in history, 48 nations are competing for one trophy. Not 32, not 24, 48 countries. That is a jump of 16 teams compared to Qatar 2022. More nations, more stories, more heartbreaks, more miracles. This is not a football tournament anymore. This is a football festival. Now let's talk about where all of this is happening. Because the location alone makes this World Cup one for the history books. 3 countries, 1 cup. The United States, Mexico, and Canada are co-hosting this tournament together. The first time in World Cup history that 3 nations have shared the stage. 16 cities, 11 stadiums in the USA, 3 in Mexico, 2 in Canada. Matches stretched across an entire continent. The opening game kicked off on June 11th in Mexico City at the legendary Estadio Azteca, where Mexico faced South Africa, and the final July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey in front of 82,500 fans. This magnificent stadium in Mexico City is doing something no stadium has ever done before. It is hosting World Cup matches for the 3rd time. After 1970 and 1986, 3 World Cups, 1 stadium, and then there is MetLife Stadium, where the story ends. On July 19th, the 2 best teams on the planet will walk out onto that New Jersey grass, and behind them will be 82,500 screaming supporters. The energy will be unlike anything football has ever seen, because FIFA has decided that the 2026 World Cup final will feature the first ever Super Bowl-style halftime show in the tournament's history. Coldplay is involved, a World Cup final, and a mega concert, and at the same time, on the same night. This has never happened before, and whether it happens again, we do not know, but it is happening now, and that makes this final something truly special. Let's talk money, because the numbers here are staggering. The winning nation takes home $50 million in prize money. That is up from $42 million in Qatar. Just for reaching the tournament, every team is guaranteed at least $10.5 million in preparation and participation fees. The total prize fund across all 48 teams is the largest in World Cup history, but the real money story is in the tickets. FIFA used dynamic pricing for the first time this World Cup, and it caused outrage. Tickets for the final reached $11,000. Premium seats crossed $30,000. The attorneys general of New York, New Jersey, and California actually subpoenaed FIFA over their ticketing practices. Fans were furious, players were furious, even members of the United States Congress spoke out. The beautiful game, hosted in North America for a price tag that most football fans could never afford. That contradiction runs right through the heart of this tournament. Now we get to the part that is truly irreplaceable. The players. We are watching the last great World Cup of Lionel Messi. We may be watching the last World Cup of Cristiano Ronaldo, and both of them, at the same time, are on this stage right now. Messi won it all in Qatar 2022. He lifted that trophy after a career that spanned 2 decades. He has played more World Cup matches than any player in history. 26 games across 5 tournaments, and now at 38 years old, he is still playing, still scoring, still chasing one more moment of magic in the blue and white of Argentina. Ronaldo is here too, carrying Portugal on his shoulders one final time. The ambition never died, the hunger never left, and somewhere in this tournament he wants that ending he never got. 2 legends, 1 stage. Probably the last time both of them will be at a World Cup together. When this tournament ends, this chapter of football closes forever, and then there is the generation that comes next. Kylian Mbappe is hungry. He scored a hat-trick in the 2022 final and still lost. France came within a penalty kick of winning. That defeat has fueled 4 years of focus, and Mbappe arrives in 2026 with something to prove. Erling Haaland is here, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Lamine Yamal, Jamal Musiala. The next wave of football greatness is crashing on this same shore as the last legends of the old guard. Sunset and sunrise, happening at exactly the same moment, on exactly the same field. You will not see this combination again. This World Cup also belongs to the nations who have never been here before. Cape Verde, Curacao, Jordan, Uzbekistan, 4 countries are appearing at a Men's World Cup for the very first time in their histories. 4 nations whose players grew up dreaming of this exact moment, and now they are living it. The expanded 48-team format opened the door for them, and when they walk out onto that pitch and see their flag on the big screen and hear their national anthem echo through a full stadium, that is not just sport. That is the story of an entire country written in 90 minutes of football. This is what the World Cup is supposed to be, but it would not be honest to talk about this tournament without talking about what went wrong. Iran's participation was under a cloud due to geopolitical tensions between Iran and the United States. A Somali referee was denied entry into the country despite holding a valid visa. FIFA had to remove him from the tournament roster entirely. Travel bans affected ordinary fans from several nations. While players and staff were exempted, there were concerns about heat in cities like Dallas, Houston, and Miami. There were environmental studies estimating the tournament's carbon footprint at 7.8 million metric tons. There were immigration concerns at stadiums, with reports of federal enforcement agents potentially present at matches. Workers at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles nearly went on strike days before their first game. This tournament did not take place in a perfect world. It took place in the real one, and that reality, uncomfortable as it is part of the story too. And through all of that time, the format grew slowly. 16 teams became 24, 24 became 32, and now, for the first time in 28 years, 32 has become 48. Each expansion brought more nations into the dream. Each expansion made the world a little more represented on football's biggest stage, and the 2026 edition is the largest single leap in the tournament's history. Here's a number that tells you everything about modern football. The last 6 World Cups have produced 6 different champions. Argentina in 2022, France in 2018, Germany in 2014, Spain in 2010, Italy in 2006, Brazil in 2002. 6 consecutive tournaments, 6 different winners. That has never happened before in the history of the competition. Nobody dominates anymore. Nobody is safe. Any team on any given day can topple anyone. And with 48 nations in this tournament, the chances of a stunning upset, a fairy tale run, a country no one expected reaching the final are higher than they have ever been. So why is this the World Cup that will never happen again? Because this exact combination of circumstances cannot be recreated. Messi will not be at the next World Cup as this version of Messi. The first time 3 nations host together cannot happen twice. The first Super Bowl halftime show at a World Cup final cannot be a first again. The first appearances of Cape Verde, Curacao, Jordan, and Uzbekistan cannot be repeated. The feeling of a 48-team World Cup being new and unprecedented, that feeling disappears the moment it becomes normal. Everything that makes 2026 extraordinary is tied to the word first. First 3-nation host, first 48-team edition, first round of 32, first halftime mega show, first World Cup for 4 nations, first and probably last time Messi and Ronaldo are at a World Cup together. Firsts only happen once, from June 11th to July 19th, 2026, across 16 cities, 3 countries, and 104 matches. History is being written right now, and we are watching it happen right now in real time. Do not look away, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your World Cup winner prediction in the comments. See you in the next one.